Hello, Ron Briggs, Blackmore Vale Honey, and welcome back to the channel. This episode we'll be looking at First Fix plumbing. So, welcome back to the channel. Here we are again, and it's going to be First Fix plumbing. So where are we at? So it's now the 2nd of November. Autumn's definitely on us. Definitely noticed the bees have started to slow down their activity. Been around all the hives. They're all weighing what they should. I've stopped the feed now, as in the syrup, and then I'll just keep an eye on it. And if we need to, we'll feed fondant. Next week when I go up, I'll be taking all the insulation boards and putting some insulation back in the roof. What else beekeeping? So we've been knocking out some honey. It's already been extracted, but getting it jarred up, ready for the Christmas fairs. And making a load of candles again for the Christmas fairs. So that's what's happening from the beekeeping side of things. So that's kind of slowing things down here. I'm getting about a day a week in here at the moment, but we are cracking on. So you saw in the last video, the First Fix electrics is finished. This video, we're going to be looking at First Fix plumbing. Now, I don't know if you remember all the way back right from when we first put the slab in, you might remember that we already had water, because it used to be an outside water tap. In fact, you can see the pipe there that's coming in, other way, and we got water actually into the building. So I'm putting an outside tap in. I've put the outside tap on. That's been plumbed to a fashion, and that's pretty much all we're going to be doing. And the reason for that is this wall at the back here will have boards put up, some insulation put in, and then we'll get the wet wall in. And then once the wet wall's in, we can then actually get the sink and everything else that's going to go in here. And I can actually purchase that, put it in position, and see exactly where I want the water to come out. And because in the potting shed we'll have access to the back wall there, I can do all the plumbing and electrics from that side when we need to. So it's only a very small amount of plumbing we've got to do at the moment, so I'll show you what we're doing. So outside, this is going to be a covered area. We're going to have a sink and cold water. So the cold water, you probably noticed, is a bit higher than what it would be. The sink's about 900, so the sink's come into about here, and the sink's a bit higher, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hose onto that into the sink, but then also be able to switch hoses for a longer one if I need to wash anything down or fill up a bucket. So that's why it's a bit higher and out of the way. So that's fitted, and I love this. It's on a spigot. So basically all you've got is this with 15mm pipe running into it, and then you just screw the tap into it, cut the pipe down to the length you need it. Simple. So there's no pipes running on the outside. It all goes through there. We'll still put some a tap cover on that through the winter, but that's nice and neat, keeps it out of the way. So that's there fitted, and then the pipe for that is in place. So that runs, so it comes through there, joins on this elbow, cut it down, joins on this elbow, and then runs up and out through the ceiling and across the ceiling. Oh, you might get to see what's been going on in the loft. And then, I don't know if you can see that, but that pipe comes in at that far side there, and then runs, and it's clipped all the way to the rafters there, and it's got the insulation on it already. And then it just goes straight down there, straight into the reel there. So it's not connected to anything at the moment. But that's all in place for that. Whilst we're up here, I don't think I ever showed you the, look at that. That's, you can see some of the cabling running. It's all been pinned to the rafters as well, and some of it is pinned across the rafters on the floor. And also you'll notice from this angle that some of the insulation is different sizes. We remember we got a lot of it for free and next to nothing, but it is a tight space to be crawling around in, so I'm glad that's done. Right, so back to water. You'll notice I'm using plastic flexible piping. It's fine, it's absolutely good, it's no problem, you can use it, it's all good stuff. And it's really easy with the push fit stuff. But I don't know, some of the traders will probably tell you it's great. I just think it's easier or better if you have as minimum joints actually in your walls as you possibly can, because if it's going to fail anywhere, it's going to probably fail on a join. So we want to try and keep that down to a minimum, keep all joints down to a minimum. So that's why it takes a bit of working out. So some of my joins, in fact a lot of my joins, are actually going to be where I can get to them easily. They're going to be just above this plate, all insulated, and then running down into the honey house. So the first thing I've got to do is I've got a stop tap. So we've got to disconnect the water, or turn the water off in the mains at the house there, where it comes outside, and then fit that stop tap on the bottom of that. And then that's it done then. I shouldn't then have to ever turn the water off again in here. And then what I want to do, only other thing I want to do at the moment, is I want to connect that pipe to that pipe and run the water through, so that I can test the join on there, and I can also then test that join, because then I don't have to, I haven't got the stuff to pressure test it. So that's what we get on with now. Right, so here we are then. So when it comes to plumbing, a couple of tips, especially for the DIYer, is first of all, don't start plumbing late into the afternoon or the evening, because if something goes wrong, nowhere will be open to get the parts you need. Secondly, have someone available to help you in case you need somebody to run and turn the stop tap off quickly, if you've got that luxury. And when you do set out, prepare for leaks, hence why we got the towel and the bucket, and have sort of the right tools and have researched what you've done. So hopefully you can do it nice and quickly and it'll be sorted. So what I've got is I've got my stop tap, which is for 15mm pipe, and you'll see on there it's got an arrow which tells you which way the flow is going to go, and it tells you on there which way's off, which is that way, clockwise. So I know which way that's got to go on. I've got two of these, so when you're using 15mm pipe, which is what we are, these plug in to the end to give the end of the pipe some support. So the plan is, I've already marked where my stop tap's going to go. I've marked where I'm going to cut it. I've got the proper pipe cutting tool, so I'm going to cut that. Trying, once I have cut it, get the back of this in the bucket to catch as much water I can. Obviously some will go onto there. Then we'll put one of these in this bit, one of these in, because this bit's fine for me to put back on, because it's more than long enough for the first part of wherever it needs to go. So we'll cut that, we'll put that in there, we'll put that in there, we'll put the stop tap in the middle, and then turn the water back on. That's daughter's dog Digby, by the way. So let's get on it. When you cut them, try and cut them square. We will get some water come out just because of the pressure that was in the pipes, but we should be able to. Yeah, there we go. So push that in there. You see how that's gone all the way in? And then we can put that in there. Let's just push fit, and that is that. Although there is still water in this pipe, so we're gonna, before we turn the water back on, push that in there. And if you saw me do that, that can go in there, pushed in, and that's it. Right, so now we've got to go and turn the water back on and make sure there's no leaks. I'll try that so we can see. Right, so the water's back on, and that looks good. Looks all good there. So what I've got now, I've got the end of the pipe is open. I'm going to turn the water on at a stop tap, make sure we get water, make sure it doesn't leak there, and then whatever happens from then, working inside the building, we know that's good. So let's turn that on. And there we go, you can see that. You've got water. Oh, that's coming through quite cool. That's good. No leaks anywhere. This will, once all the boarding's in, this will be connected to the wall, attached to the wall. And I've worked it out that the sink unit I'm putting in here, that's got the, it'll have a shelf, and this can go below the shelf. Good, right, let's move on to the next thing that we want to do with the water then. Right, so what I want to do now is, I just want to make a temporary join. Well, actually it'll be a permanent join, but it's not going to stay, that this join won't stay, between the pipe that we've just connected to the stop tap and the pipe that's, the roll of pipe, the reel of pipe that goes to that outside tap. So you get various different connections for this push fit. So this one's just a straight connection. You get elbows and all sorts, whatever you need for your project really. So again, we've just got to put one of those, reinforce it. You can put these straight onto copper as well. And if you put them onto copper, you don't need these because the copper won't collapse, whereas this might, probably would collapse when you push this on. So one of them in there, I don't want to go in, hang on. So that goes in the end like so. And that simply just pushes on, push connector, like that. And then we've just got to get it into this piece. So this piece needs another one of those. Come on. Like that, and that pushes into there. Right, so that's it. So we've got our join. Now these are notoriously difficult to get apart. You can, by pulling these up, get them apart, but I'm quite happy to I'll be sacrificing this join and those two plugs that I put in, and I'm more than happy to sacrifice that, knowing that the outside tap hasn't got a leak in that wall. So moment of truth, let's go and test that then. I'm nearly ready to do this test. So first thing that we check, first of all, that this tap is off. Make sure that we haven't left that on, otherwise that will start running straight away. And then inside the joint we're actually testing. So this is the joint we're testing. We've got a towel on the floor there, just in case it does spurt out a load of water. We've got something to mop it up instantly. So that's the joint we're going to be testing. The thing we'll need to look at as well, just to be on the safe side when we turn it on, is the join. We've joined the two pipes together. So all that's left to do now is turn on the stop tap and see if it's leaking anywhere. So wish me luck. Can hear water running. That's going into the pipes. Pipes are moving as they fill up. That joint over there looks good. This is the one we're worried about. I can't see anything, can't feel anything. I'll get a torch, I'll leave it for a bit, get a torch in there, make sure that it's not got wet in there. But let's go and turn the tap on and make sure it is coming out the other end. No water's got to there. Let's go back in and check this joint again. Oh, it's dry, that's good. Okay, so it looks like it's okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it on for a while. I'm going to run that tap outside and then just give this an opportunity to leak if it wants to. And if it remains dry, then we can fill that up with some expanding foam, and then we're good to board the wall up. So I'll come back in about 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes now since we last had a look at it, and it is still dry. I am 100% confident that is a good join in there. So happy, very happy with that. So all I need to do now, get a bit of expanding foam in there, and we'll get some vapor barrier up, and we can board this whole area out, which would be good, because then we can start thinking about getting some electricery in here. So just to give you some idea of what we're hanging on for, let's turn you around. Right, so in this corner, we're going to have stainless steel tables running across here to do the jarring and stuff. And then, so the stainless steel table is going to end here. And then from there, we're going to have a sink unit. So what I quite like to see is exactly where that sink's going to be as to what we do with the water into there. We'll also then need water up here, around about here, because that's where our hot water hand wash is going to go. And again, I want to see the sink in place to see exactly where the nozzle of the water needs to be. Then I can get the water pipe in exactly the right place, and the electrics. That's going to need a little bit of electrics across to there. So that's got to go in place. And the other thing we're going to do around about here is we're going to have another tap, another one of those on a spigot, which I'll show you, because that's the one I can put a hose on for washing down all the extractor, etc., which is going to be sat in that corner there. And it'll also be long enough to get to the uncapping tank, which will be along here. So that's what the plan is. So as for where the actual water is going to run, I am not 100% sure yet. I'd like to run them all down. So what I'm thinking at the moment, my thinking is to put a T joint off the water pipe there, run the water down straight down here for this tap, and then put another T joint in here. So we'll have a T joint in there where the water will go up and into the sink, and then another, well, whether we have a joint or not, or whether we can just keep it as a pipe up to that T joint. Not entirely sure. We'll see how that goes. But that's for a much later day. We've got to get all the insulation and water and everything in there. So yeah, so that's it for first fix. So there we are then. That ends. I told you it was only going to be a little video. That's the first fix of the plumbing done. First fix of the electrics done. Now we can crack on. So yeah, thanks for watching. The next video will be we'll put more insulation in. We'll get the vapor barrier in, we'll get it boarded, and we'll have a really good tidy up. So I hope you got something for that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.